Say hi.
Hello. Hey guys.
Alright. So let me just get right into this. So, what was your reaction when you heard you got to help bring this graphic novel to life?
Well, at first it was like, I was ecstatic. I'm like, yes! This is a huge one. One of my favorites. Obviously one of the top 20, I'd say, graphic novel, the compilations, runs of all time. Certainly top 5 Batman. Love Batman. But then it was like terror. Because I'm like, oh no, the fans aren't going to just let this one go by. If it's only okay, this is going to be a big deal. So we better get it right. And I think we did. Mostly those guys, but I did my part.
So were there any difficulties that came along as it was being written, or did it just kind of flow pretty smoothly from start to finish?
Well, there was the problem is always on everything is that there's so much. It's a 12-issue run. It would be great if it was 10 one-hour live-action episodes. That would be cool. I'd watch that if I wasn't trying to write on it, right? But we had like 75 minutes. So what do you lose? What are you going to lose? Something is everyone's favorite. Or everything is someone's favorite thing. But there were kind of plot branches that weren't as thick and sturdy as some of the other ones, and so we kind of trimmed those, moved some things around, and while keeping what is the central core of the story, I think, which is the Batman, Catwoman, Bruce Wayne, Selina Kyle romance. It's kind of a different Batman story. Usually there is a villain, and it is Batman having to fight this terrible person, terrible thing, right? In this, and in those stories, you'll get a scene where Bruce Wayne's trying to live his life, and he's in the corporate boardroom, and suddenly he's got to go because that thing, that monster's killing some people. In this one, there's a whole big relationship subtext. You get to see his messy life where it's like, oh my God, this guy's running around in a batsuit trying to hold the city together, and also, he's dating really for the first time. Now he's allowing that into his life. So it's kind of a different story, which is one of the reasons I really, really liked it.
Thank you very much.
So this is part of the current shared universe. Adapting the comic series, since because of the publishing schedule, Jim Lee, the flow, the director, our head.
1 second.
So since Jim Lee and Jeff Lowe, they were so far ahead, it takes place at the time in DC continuity, but because Dance is pretty much brain rock, so you have to know everything in the DC universe at the time. So it's kind of there's a very timeless feel to it. Whereas, is it difficult or easier than expected to translate the comic into this new shared universe?
Well, James has done something special and fantastic along with the entire Warner Brothers team. I mean, boy, those animators, wouldn't want to be them. They chain them to their desks. Don't tell anybody. But the real hard part about this is, since it's this rogues gallery, that what Jeff wanted to do was with Jim Lee was, let's have you draw everything. Let's get your take on every single of the main villains, right? And so I'm writing a story around that, and then that's hard to do, to string together, but they did it wonderfully. And the problem with that is to try and adapt it into this much shorter form is there's a lot of iconic people, like the Joker or Harley Quinn or Superman. They get like one scene, like you have to really. I just tried to get that one scene and make it worthwhile for an actor to come in and say those lines. It was a combination of what was already there, but remember, we got to kind of say it in a more streamlined way. So that's, hopefully I did a good job. Hopefully the fans will like it. I think they will. You know, I watched it. I mean, I was coming to Comic-Con before I was working. You know, I'm a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons type nerd, right? So I was in it, and I'm really pleased with the way this one turned out. I think it's my favorite thing that I've done so far. So.
This is one of the most popular of the arcs. Why did it take you so long? Why are you just getting to the end?
I don't know, but I'm extremely happy it took so long.
Okay. Well, is it that it just doesn't translate as well because you have such little time? Maybe that's. Is it challenging because of that?
You know, it's really weird, and sometimes, like, I think the fans nowadays know so much more than we did 20, 30 years ago, writing into Stan Lee, you know, and actually right back and stuff. But there wasn't an internet. Sorry, that makes me sound like the interweb. You kids. There wasn't that interconnectivity that you could get with forums and stuff like that. You had to go into the city to be like the Superman or the Spider-Man fan club. You had to find out where that was. It wasn't that way. And I don't know where I was going. I just lost it. What was
You were talking about how the challenges.
Yes, the challenges. I'm sorry. So sometimes stuff just goes away for reasons that you would never guess. You would never guess. It was like, all of a sudden there was a budget cut and they did one less movie, and that was going to be it. And now those guys are gone, and now they won't be able to do it for 5 years. It's like, okay, let's find a new team. And it's like, well, it takes a couple years to get a new team together. It just falls into a crack. It's weird, you know. Like I get frustrated too. Is
it going to be worth the wait?
I think so. Boy, the animators and the everything, the voice direction and the actors, you know, voicing these characters. Boy, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was amazing.
Was there talk of making this a two-parter, like Dark Knight Returns or Superman, or would you prefer it was?
Not while I was involved. It was always a one thing. I don't know if in a previous iteration they were thinking about a two-parter, but since I was been involved, it's always been a one-parter.
And are you happy about that, or would you prefer that you would have had the time to get into
you know, now that I've seen the finished product, I am extremely happy with it. But if you're asking me, would you like to write more Batman and Joker and Harley Quinn scenes or less? My answer is always like, I would like to write more. Yeah.
So with this, when you're trying to condense a little bit of the story, do you kind of use the characters as the guide rather than this sequence of events?
Well, you know what? With this is kind of a different Batman story because you see a lot of his personal life. In many stories, there is a villain who's a monster, and it's Batman versus that villain. And you get a couple scenes where he tries to go into work, he's supposed to be at a board meeting, but something happens, he's got to leave. In this one, he's in a relationship. He's trying to balance his life. So that frame is one thing that we didn't skimp on at all. That frame is the most important thing and trimming down some of the rogues gallery, then it's still Hush. It's just shorter, you know. So I think it has the perfect essence of Hush and what Jim Lee and Jeff Loeb did story-wise. I hope you guys do too.
Will you share who your favorite character is to kind of animate or to kind of bring to life of all the Rogues Gallery?
Boy, I really got into. Of course, everybody loves writing for the Joker and Harley Quinn, right? But surprisingly, because I don't think I've written her before, I really love the Poison Ivy stuff. I really love the Poison Ivy stuff. She's in several scenes, you know, she kind of kicks the plot forward, and the actress is just fantastic voice performance. She also plays Poison Ivy on TV. So how can you get better, right?
Do you ever feel like because you're going off of I had only read Hushes when they compiled everything together and graphic novel. So when you have something like that, it's more of like a blueprint for you, or do you ever feel that pull to try to make it exactly like the books?
Well, you know, this is kind of a question for anybody that you can go back and forth on. You're like, I want it shot for shot, and, you know, and then say like The Watchmen comes out, and people are like, what? It's shot for shot. There's nothing new, you know. Like you can't win, right? So in a certain sense, but in this